Okay, thank you very much, Gene. How do you feel of knowing that this is the 40-year anniversary of KISS?
Well, 40 years is just the beginning. The sound you hear is the ocean because we're in Cabo, in Mexico. And we can't show you the ocean right now because the camera gets too bright. So we are in Mexico right now to open our new restaurant chain, Rock and Brews. But we do everything big. 40 years for KISS is just the beginning. We have so many new things, so many exciting things. KISS golf course in Las Vegas and KISS cruises in the Bahamas. A lot of very exciting things, and this is just the beginning.
You just got me the second question. This is a new restaurant now in Cabo, in Mexico. It's a new challenge for you?
There are no challenges. The only challenge is to be born. And once you're alive, the only other challenge is death. So when you're alive, live big, have big dreams, eat big, love big, do everything big. And that's always been my philosophy. Rock and Brews is a restaurant chain that celebrates the lifestyle, rock and roll culture, the music, the fashion, and of course the great food of rock and roll. And you can go to rockandbrews.com and find out all about it. And we have plans of opening 100 Rock and Brews in Mexico.
Wow. So what's the next step for KISS in the next 10 years?
You know, I still have my hair, so that's good. We are planning to do big things. We are going to go in and do new music, go back in the studio. But right now we're touring. It's a 2-year-long tour. We're going to Europe and then Central America, Japan, and then back to Canada, and then we will see what happens.
A lot of people is asking if there's going to be a Mexico City tour date. Probably soon.
We promise we're coming back to Mexico, especially Mexico City, but we love Guadalajara, we love all the great cities in Mexico, and we have great food, great times, and the women,
What do you think was your biggest or toughest challenge that you have ever made?
The biggest challenge we had was to break up the original family, because 2 of the members of the family became drug addicts and alcoholics. And when they're part of a team or a family, it's very tough to break it up and cut out the cancer so you can survive. And it's the same with any dysfunctional family. If your father or your brother was a drunk, it's tough to push them aside, otherwise they will ruin your life. I say to you now, we should have made that split much earlier. As soon as somebody becomes a drug addict or an alcoholic, get rid of them. Don't stay around them. They will take the life from you like a vampire sucks the blood. Get rid of losers.
Okay. Have you ever thought about retirement?
One day I will retire and one day I will die. But until then, I'm going to rock.
Every time that you speak about Mexico, about your shows with the band, what's the biggest or greatest feelings that you have about Mexico?
The word is passion. The food is not boring. You take a bite of Mexican food and it gives you a kick. There's nothing passive and there's nothing bland about Mexico. Everything is spicy and hot. The food, the women, the culture, the history. And that's the great thing about Mexico.
The axe bass, it's an amazing instrument. Have you ever thought about making changes about the design or the form or something about the axe?
We are looking at various changes that are being made now. One of the first changes is to make it chrome. There's going to be a silver chrome axe bass, as well as a gold chrome axe bass, and various other incarnations, including the Punisher basses, which you'll be able to play and see through. And there's also a studded version, and so many different versions are coming out soon.
Okay. Now, you consider yourself a legend. What do you say to people that just consider you a musician?
That's fine. They can consider me anything they want. They can consider me a jackass. They can consider me a king. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how I think of myself.
Okay, Gene. Thank you very much.
De nada.
Okay, take care.
Viva Mexico!